She likes the way I eat down. She likes the way I put it down.
Yeah.
She likes the
Tab for the bad little bitches in the city and it's all on me. Time no time when the love so blind that you're all I can see. Know the night won't be the same if you don't leave with me. Ass up, head down, every time you dress down, no I like it. 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 Good ass girl in the badass city, got the itty bitty titty, but the ass come with it. Got you hoping that a flash come with it. Looking single in the club, but you hoping that a man don't get it. And she pulling up late night, no teeth, play fight, big jaw, gray white, fuck to the daylight, put her to sleep, cause I don't need no Xan. If she fucking with me, then she gon' need both hands, yeah. Big penthouse, spend another 10,000, nothing getting rent out, money getting sent out. Good brain, good head, get the sense out. Then I make it rain in the bed, pull a tent out. She likes the way I put shit down, and I likes the way I ain't gotta call her whenever I'm in town, but she know when to pull up on the block, throw the hood up. The Bucktown boy, wood grain with the foot up. Call me when you need somebody to work on that body the way that it should have. Yeah, I pull up AM, scotch color gray bands, whole room darker than Ray Bans, and I'm sitting on that ass like spray tan. I would get it poppin' with you or your 8 friends, but look, I like it. 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 I like it.
likes the way I eat down.
All right. Pulling up, man. Yes, sir. All right, try to give everybody some time to hop in. Welcome back to the Black Room, y'all. Got a very special guest tonight. Super special. Matt Wells. Man, he's been a part of football for a long time. So we're gonna hop right into it. Tonight we should have Mike hopping on. He said he needs a few minutes before he can get here, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey Matt, I added you to the stream, man. How you doing today?
All right, no problem. You can see me?
Yes, sir.
All right, yes, sir.
How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Hanging in there.
I'm very excited to have you, to have a conversation with you. Listen, the Black Room, man, we just gonna ask straight questions. We're gonna get straight to it. It's your time to talk, all right? So listen,
yes.
for all those who don't know, Matt has an extensive football career. I know more about his football career as an arena player and a coach than anything else, just from a little bit that I do know about him. But he came across my way. Somebody had shared a live that he had, and he was talking about pretty much all the same things that I've been talking to you guys about all year, about potentially, bringing that professional level of football to the States. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing it all over the place. We're seeing it happen overseas. We're seeing it happen in Mexico and Germany and Britain and London. We even seen it in Tokyo. And now he's looking to do some of the same things. So we're going to give him an opportunity to talk tonight. So listen, the first thing I want to do is, tell us your football resume, man. Start from high school and just walk us through your career.
Honestly, I started high school in 2006. 2010, I was in Florida, Polk County Lake Regional High School. From there, I actually went to Lindenwood University once I graduated and transferred to Weber International. Just found on my high school a little bit. My junior and senior year, I was the defensive lineman of the year. Both years combined, I had 171 tackles from D-line. I played a little bit of fullback as well, but that was one of my main things from high school, transitioning to college. But yeah, I went to Lindenwood. I was there for a semester, ended up transferring back to Florida and went to Weber International. And then from there, I actually started playing pro football. For some reason, I liked the college, but I just wanted to keep playing football at a higher level. I felt I could, and so I just wanted to try to pursue it early.
Dope, dope, dope. And what was your first like professional, uh, you know, team as a football player?
Stars Professional Football League. It was called. That's what it was called. And kind of the same model of what I'm actually kind of planning for now. But it was an outdoor league. I was called it was a team I was playing on called the Daytona Beach Racers. We had a team in Georgia called the Georgia Gamblers. A team in New Orleans called the New Orleans Jazz. A team in Michigan called the Michigan Coyotes. So we had like a few teams in the area, and we also had one more team that was in Florida, the Fort Lauderdale Barracudas.
And how long was you there?
Just for the season. That's it. It was only up. No, the season was up for 3 years. But I was there just for that season, and I ended up going into arena football that next year. Well, really that next season because that season started within April, and I'm sorry, I don't want to get anybody wrong. It started in April and ended in July. So I actually started tryouts for arena football around that September.
So you just kind of rolled right into it. That's dope. That's dope. So talk to us a little bit about like your arena experience, man. Like a lot of people, they really just can't get into arena because it's so different from 11 man. And then some people get into arena and they absolutely love it. They think like it's the most amazing thing. Talk to us a little bit about like what was it like making that transition your first year into arena?
Personally, uh, because in high school and in college, from the coaches that I was under, they was technicians. They taught us a lot about how to be, technique. With me being 5'11", and varying from 245 to about 275 from my playing weights from high school to pro. Me being a defensive lineman or a linebacker or a fullback, I had to learn technique. I wasn't that 6'5", that 6'4" type prototype guy. Once I got into arena football, I actually did love it. I was one of those guys that did love it because it's one-on-one football. And I'm one of those guys that believe that, if you can't do what you can do by yourself, I mean, there's no need for you adding people to help you out because you're going to put them in a bad position, or you're not knowing your assignment and playing at full speed. And whereas in arena football, it's pretty much one-on-one all game. It's fast-paced. If you don't doing, you can get ran over, or expose somebody else's highlight. So I loved it when I got into it. I just had to grow more into it because it was a different speed. It was definitely, 1 or 2 seconds, the ball is out. So, transitioning from that 4 to 5 second pass rush to now learning how to learn formations and put myself in a better situation to make plays was very much different. So, but I did enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. Now I see that you spent some time with the Orlando Predators. I know a couple of people on the team now.
Yes,
What
sir.
was the time like, down in Orlando playing for that team and that league?
Actually, it was good. I really did enjoy being in a higher level. I have been playing it for a while, to be honest. And by the time the Predators came back, I think I was more so in my 7th season of playing. So, but it was a bigger league that came around, trying to form back the AFL, which is, the National Arena League right now. So just to get back, in a home atmosphere, to be honest, with some great coaches. Ben Bennett was my coach at the beginning. Also, a familiar face that was on the team, as well. Oh my God, I had a brain fart just like that. But it was a few familiar faces. The 2019 season when they first came back, it was actually coaches that was on the Predators roster when they was playing. So, just to be around those guys to soak up a lot more knowledge, to be honest, was cool. I actually ended up getting hurt week 1. Broke my ankle in practice, to be honest. So I was out for majority of the season. I did get re-signed back, but COVID happened, of course. And then the 2021 season, went through camp with everybody. Was there with the Freddie Boost, was there with the Jenkins and everybody. Was there with um, who else was there? Desmond Maxwell. Maxwell was pretty much reps or whatever I could take. You know what I'm saying? He was there a lot. I learned a lot from him, especially with him being in a Division I school at Rutgers. So with Freddie Booth, like I said, somebody that played D1 football and went to the NFL. So just being around those core group of guys at the age bracket that I was definitely good, and still being able to compete. So I felt good at being around the atmosphere, to be honest.
Definitely, definitely. Now, there's a ton of guys that I know that play semi-pro football that also play arena. Um, did you ever get close to any of those guys? Do you have any experience yourself with arena football, um, as far as like going to semi-pro and then playing an arena? Like, just talk us through that.
So I personally, being that I scout, one of the, and I can just touch on that for that question you're saying. That's part of the main reason why I got into the scouting field because my transition was a little bit different. I went to college and I only really played one season or once, might as well say one semester, and I just tried to transition into football. Whereas you got guys that are in the semi-professional world that probably never did go to college, or probably didn't have the opportunity because of grades or what have you, but still young or still athletically can pretty much put themselves in a great position to make a profession out of it. I did get close to those type of people because I had friends. I have friends that wasn't able to transition to the professional side, like how I was able to, but we stayed in the same area. So some off seasons during my career of playing, I would train with, some semi-pro teams, just to kind of get around those guys and soak knowledge into them, learn more about why they doing what they're doing, and also try to pick a few of those guys that are on those teams and give them a better look, to transition from semi-pro, So I actually do get close to those type of players. I don't always, because a lot of them, don't understand the type of commitment it takes, to be a pro athlete or to really try to go to college to be an athlete at the same time. But I definitely stick my nose in it, especially if I see a lot of buzzes going around or I see a few athletes on my page that isn't pro, but I'm watching their page and watching how they, conduct themselves. I definitely will reach out to them just to see what they got going on.
Definitely, definitely. One of my best friends, I played with him in high school. I played against him in Pop Warner. He's in the CIF. I think he's on Omaha Beef right now, and he's killing it. He's lighting it up, and he's a semi-pro guy. He went to a D1 school and had an injury, and he just found himself, at the back of the depth chart, but probably one of the more talented guys. And then his time was cut short, so he just hopped right in. But the way that he entered arena and just kind of took over was crazy. But he's like a one in a million kind of guy, and those guys are out there. So always talking to guys about just conducting themselves as professionals and understanding that, they might call it rec league or whatever, but anytime you step on there, that's an opportunity, man. Anytime you under that microscope.
I actually had one hidden gem, like I said, just a fully small touch on it one more time. I'm at one hidden gem and I scout a lot of guys. I just picked up like a few athletes from semi-pro just earlier this year, and they're playing on, professionally right now. A few of them are linemen. But last year, one of the most rawest guys I really feel like I probably picked up as an athlete to my agency was Tyron Lemon. He played with the Mississippi Dynasty out of the GDF, a cornerback, man, like very, very tenacious, 6'1", 185 guy, technician, strong, very scrappy. His favorite athlete is Jalen Ramsey. So, God dang.
Yeah.
But he, to be honest, I got to coach him last year, my first season of coaching arena football. And, he learned a lot with one of the guys. I don't know if you heard the name, Ronnie Hardison, Ofer Tuzi. He learned a lot with him. CIF, he played with the Topeka Tropics and, definitely killed it this year.
Yeah.
Just to speak on the semi-professional, to be honest, there's a lot of great athletes out there. So I do encourage them to transition if they can.
Definitely. Now talk about that a little bit because, I know you had a pretty good career, like one of the best careers in arena, especially for a defender. But talk a little bit about your transition as a coach, and what that was like, stepping over. You coaching at a professional level, like that's your first experience as coaching, or were you working as a coach for some time and you kind of built up to that?
Well, I got introduced into the prep, like post-grad, type of JUCO model in 2020. During the pandemic, a team called Lakeland, we was called the Florida Central Tech Bulls in Lakeland, Florida. I had a few guys that I'm friends with that introduced it to me and wanted me to, help out with the defensive line. Like I said, defensive line is something I've did all throughout my career other than fullback. So I thought that was a great opportunity for me to start learning how to really deal with players on that level. I definitely scout, talk to them, but how to actually coach and teach them from things that I learned. I thought it was a great idea for me, so I did that for 3 seasons. But with me again, like I said, to transition into it really was I won't say it difficult. Was wanting to make sure that I was never that type of coach that felt like I knew more than everybody, because everybody still have to learn from something. No matter how long you play, so no matter where you play at, everybody still should be subject to learn from something. So, I felt comfortable with doing it. But when it came to the professional level, I think that was my biggest challenge, because I got thrown into a different aspect. I was only supposed to be coming in last season only just to be the offensive line coach and the coordinator and help out personnel. But I want to say 2 weeks in through the season, I ended up becoming the head coach and offensive coordinator. So a lot of transition for me to really learn how to deal with everybody hands on a lot more. You know what I'm saying? I knew how to call plays. I really wasn't too much of an issue. I knew how to keep a team together because of the structured, environments I've been around as a player. But just to be honest, it really was a good transition for me, or a good challenging transition for me. So going into this year, being in the CIF coaching, I got to learn a lot more. Really, not just being the head coach. I'm glad I'm not the head coach right now. I'm glad I'm none of that, because I really wanted to learn more about what I needed to learn more before I go back to that transition. So being around my head coach, Dante Dudley, and my defensive coordinator, Antoine Smith, it really was a good deal for me this year. We didn't have the best record, but, I got to learn a lot more and learn how to, lead better, and also learn certain terminologies I need to learn. So transition has been good for me, to be honest.
Yeah, one of the themes that I hear from you continuously is just, never stop learning and just picking
Right.
up things as you go through your career and picking up things from everybody that crosses your path. So one of the things I wanted to ask you was, you mentioned that you really got to spend some time with some important people and get to understand the business model at the arena level. Like, just talk to us a little bit about, what it took for you to really get a good grasp on what the business model is like, and to get a real understanding of what it takes to run a team at the professional level.
2017 was my first year with the Triangle Torch. That's how I got introduced into the scouting aspect of what I do now. But I was on a team with the agency that wanted to sign me as an athlete then. He was the actual head coach at that moment. No, I'm sorry. He was the offensive coordinator at that moment for that team. So when I got over there, I had to actually help out with front office and coaching stuff while I was playing, because they was going through a whole different transaction of ownership and everything. So I learned early about how much money it takes. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely money, but I learned early about the money. I learned early about how to get really acclimated into the community to build it. Because arena football is not all about the ownership that's there. It's important for them to be there, to take care of the housing, or, make sure certain things is paid for, like the arena for the season and stuff like that. But it's so much more to that. When you go to arena gaming, or you see it on the live or anything, or on YouTube, and you look around the banners, or you look around the field and you see the banners on the wall, or you see them on the stands and stuff, like those are the sponsorships. So those are people that's in the community. So it's really more so of a family and community based thing. So having those guys that can get out there and really just not just sell them anything, but really just be intentional about being in the community, and just let them appreciate the fact that they're there, because a lot of those athletes are not from there. They're not from that area. A lot of so it takes that help in the community, that trust, that familyship, what I'm saying, to build a great team. So because you have to house players, you have to have people that's in aspect to to feed players. What I'm saying, you have certain people that want to invest into the organization to promote what they have going on, but also invest into an athlete or invest into anything. So I learned early about that, man, to be honest, and it has grown tremendously now since I have transitioned into the coaching. So just to understand how much energy and time and devotion, money, media, like intentionality. Like I trust me, bro. This is like I've learned so much in these past 12 to I say 11 seasons of doing this. How what it really takes to grow. To be honest.
Yeah. I started having a conversation about a month ago, seriously about developing a sort of a players union for minor league football players and semi-pro guys to really separate those guys who are looking to get to the next level. Some of those guys that might just need a redirection back into college, from the guys who are really just doing it on the weekends. And the more
Right.
that we had those types of conversations, the more you start to understand what it takes to have a more professional level of football. And a lot of the things that you touched on just now, from media to community outreach to business management to project management, you know what I'm saying? Just understanding what it takes to get a season started and have everything go right. It takes so much, and there's so much to learn. And like you said, there's so much to do. So, really quick, we're going to transition, but I want to bring Mike Rudwich on. For
Yes.
everybody who doesn't know, most people know, but Mike has played uh, from every level that you could think of, from Division One football up to semi-pro football. He played like a paid version of semi-pro football with the Connecticut Giants. Then he went on to actually try out for the New York Giants. He almost made it, came really close. He got a helmet and got a jersey and everything, but he didn't make the last
Man,
roster. So, I give that man a lot of credit. So we're gonna have him join in now. Big Mike,
Going on?
what's going on? How you doing, Big Mike? Big Mike,
Not much.
Matt Wells.
I,
So,
yeah, I had to
did
put my
I
kids.
ain't gonna lie? Just the memo. I need to turn my lights out.
that's the black room, man. If you want to turn the lights out, you can turn the lights out.
I'm driving to work, so unfortunately I gotta put you guys in the dark.
Lee, I think I missed the memo.
Yeah, it's the black room. It's the tough conversations, But tonight we having a good time so far.
So, it's about the dark.
There you go. All right, so Matt, let's keep it going. I think we got a real good feel for who you are. If anybody out there doesn't respect you at this point, shame on them. Because they obviously don't know what they're talking about. Got a ton of respect for you and everything you was able to accomplish so far in your career. But I mean, I listened to you live and I listened to you talk, and I got excited, man. I was smiling from ear to ear because I was like, damn, like I got the vision up here and I'm still a player. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to transition into a coach, and I know guys all over the place, they got the vision, but to hear it from a guy that's 1,500 miles away, that played and a different style of football, but has the same vision because he loves football the same way I do, and to talk about things and to say, listen, I want to do it the right way from the beginning. It just inspired me. So just talk to us about the new league that you're thinking about starting. Just tell us what your vision is, man. Just talk to us a little bit.
Honestly, one thing I tell athletes, as me transitioning from the coaching aspect to scouting, being a scouting agent, to be more realistic. And a lot of players want to be in the XFL. A lot of players want to be in the USFL. A lot of players want to be in the NFL. A lot of players want to be in those subject type of leagues. But a lot of players don't really have that type of resume or don't have the type of bright lights or, not even just a mouthpiece, but just don't have the leg work or enough anything a lot of times to put them in that position. So being that I've played arena football so long, I've played in only two outdoor, really one, because I played in that outdoor league I mentioned twice. Um, but I've only played really technically one professional outdoor league that did pay. And just to look at the fact of a lot of people are not going to make that transition. Would we love it to have that? Yes. 'Cause I feel like a lot more guys should be in those respected leagues outside of the name. But the reason why I'm trying to transition and make one of these type of leagues happen is because I feel like a lot more guys do deserve the opportunity to get professional outdoor film, playing against those type of quality of athletes, getting that type of look with the professional NFL rules. Yeah, we might not be at no 30,000, 40,000 plus seating stadium, but having a turf field and you can at least seat up the 8,000, or whatever type, and you can at least have fans at the game and support. And you got your next hot guy that just came out of Division II college within that area, or that was trying to go into the draft but couldn't, or trying to get a pro day and couldn't. This is the league that I'm really trying to build for them, and be able to get an opportunity to play against other guys that was at a different level that probably didn't get the same look from D1AA or NAIA or whatever. You're saying everybody don't get the opportunity to go to a pro day. Everybody won't have the opportunity, just like everybody won't have opportunity to play arena football, because there's only a certain amount of numbers that's going to be on the team, and sometimes that's political. And then even overseas, CFL, I think you have 8 Americans on the team, 8 to 10 at the most. And I think only 4 that can be on the field at the same time. And then other various overseas league, you want to have like maybe 2 to 4 players. I think LFA in Mexico, you can have 8 players. But, other leagues and like the GFL and the EFL and stuff, you can only have 2 to 4 Americans. So, those numbers for outdoors are so limited. So trying to build this type of league, not just for Florida, yeah, I'm from Florida, but to build that type of league where guys come. Like I said, I started in that type of league. If the division would have went right and more people probably would have supported it, it probably would have went longer than 3 or 4 years, and I probably wouldn't even transition to arena football. I probably would have, but I probably wouldn't have stayed in it as long, because I would have stayed in this and helped build it. One of the guys that played it from the beginning and whatever. So yes, this league is definitely trying to give athletes, even semi-professional guys that are, I would say, as this I can, above semi-pro. Because if you're an all-star guy, you making plays and you're blowing by everybody in whatever position you're in and you're killing it, there's no reason why you need to be paying to play. There's no reason why you need to be paying for any uniforms and paying for a season and paying risk and getting hurt, with no possible insurance to help you if you did get hurt, or no possible way to send your film to somebody that has, some type of credibility to watch you. So yeah, this is the league I'm really trying to build on the East Coast, and possibly, have other out-of-state teams that are established, well established, got those type of guys playing, have exhibition games or preseason games against those guys. But my potential within the next year or two, quicker than none, is to be NFLPA certified. So that way, once this league is either going or getting ready to start kicking off, that should be a problem with those type of eyes being there. I already got the arena guys or the overseas guys. I have a few CFL scouts I deal with, but I really would want the XFL, the USFL, and those type of leagues to actually be able to come to those games and scout from those games, to give those type of guys that was overlooked or didn't get that drafted opportunity or that pro day opportunity, and they're fresh out of college. Why not? Like, they're already getting paid. They already got to go through OTAs, training camp, interviews, everything, like every single aspect of what it would be for them if they were to go to that type of level is what we're going to try to expose to them to keep that going, and at least try to pay them something. No matter how much it is, at least try to pay them and give them opportunity to transition.
That is absolutely amazing. It's music to my ears. I mean, it's everything that I hope for, because like you said, it gets thinner and thinner and thinner the higher up you go. And there's a lot of talent that's out there that's just lost. It's just lost talent. Guys that really got skills and they got something special about them, but they just don't have a way to get back on track. So amazing to hear that. Before I let Mike ask his first question, I do want to ask you, you said a number of things that we're going to get back to. But the first thing is just, how do you expect to take the business model that you understand now for arena, which we see has been wildly successful in the U.S. compared to other leagues? Arena has always stuck around in some form or another. One league might close, but another one opens right up. There's pockets of arena football all across the country, and it has survived the test of time. So how do you plan to shape that business model for 11-man football. And I know you're thinking about Florida right now, but if you could just talk a little bit about expanding that and scaling that up as well, that'd be great.
One thing about it, I know for a fact, arena football is probably never going to go nowhere. Probably, to be honest, I can't speak for the future from 10 years now, but so I'm very positive that it probably never is going to go anywhere. But arena football successfully is going to cost you $175 to about $250,000. If you're in a pretty much well-based league like the National Arena League, CIF, or the IFL for sure. And you still got other teams like the AWFC, or the leagues I should say in the AWFC. So, and even with the AFL potentially coming back for next season, so you got to think about the type of money that these organizations are spending just to have, and that cost is just only probably covering your league fee, your arena fees, your housing fees, your certain businesses you had to pay to sponsor you and stuff like that, because it is an exchange. It is an exchange of money and or negotiation, as well as far as ticketing to advertise and stuff like that. So how I plan on trying to shake those things is you made a point too, for some leagues to come up or some teams to come up and then they don't last. And some of those teams I do want to try to have a conversation with, because it'll cost you so much less. I'm a person, I love money, I don't love money to where I'm sacrificing myself, but I love people to make the success out of what they do and enjoy it. To be honest, I don't like for people to waste their time and money. And I feel like, with this going on, this can help people be able to save more, but be able to see their business flourish better as well. Where, like I said, this league, what I'm doing, and especially with transition and then expand it more outside of Florida to the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Carolinas, the Mississippis, the Arkansas, the Texas, and stuff like that, which I do want to. It'll help out with division stuff in it, but it'll help out also with as far as travel, or help out with housing, or help out with, trying to make your area more better. That's why I said the way how I want to run it, the teams are no more allowed to house no more than 6 to 8 players, because certain areas you should be able to recruit from the colleges that'll be within the area. Wherever I'm trying to put it, it should be at least several different colleges, whether it's community, D3 or JUCO, whatever. It should be several colleges within that area where, that coach, that was coaching staff, or, wherever you got a captain on the team already, should be helping recruit. And once you host your tryout, we're hosting those at those colleges. We're trying to build those relationships to where that college already know, whether we be the one to host the pro day. Because I'm trying to have the season from December to March anyway. So there's a lot of times where guys won't go to be at a bowl game, but this can probably be your bowl game season, which it'll be a showcase season. You can get your pro day, you can get your type of looks from this because it's rolling right into once you're done with the season or with what you're doing in college. So it's literally trying to help guys, like I said, get more money. Because I feel like it shouldn't cost you no more than to have a solid turf field. And like I said, I'm not asking people to, get no big time college or none of that, because that is expensive, because you still got to pay for referees. But to get a solid turf field and referees taken care of, that shouldn't cost you, 4 home games, no more than probably $3,000 to $4,000, and that's taking care of your season right there. To be honest, so you do got more money for payroll. You do got money to save for travel. If anything like that, you do got more money to save for any type of other obstacle that you need to, help your players, because you do got more players to pay. But I'm only trying to cap everybody's roster 35 to 42 players, because you don't need that many players to win a game or have a game. So I'm only trying to cap it to a certain amount to where nobody feel like they're just doing so much. But, but that's pretty much the gist of that with that.
That works. Hey, Big Mike, it's your time, man. Take a crack at it. Ask him anything.
Well, I'm getting in late, so I apologize on that one. So I don't know where we covered the bases to, but for the new league that we're talking about, I think I mean, I know me when I played arena football and any type of professional football, we always wanted to know as a player, like, what was the salary rate going to be for that player?
Right.
Are you going to pay them? Like, I remember when I played arena, I played for the Manchester Wolves out in Manchester, New Hampshire, and it was the AFL2. And, me being a lineman, I got kind of paid middle, but quarterbacks and the higher end positions got paid a little bit more than us. So that'd be my, like, what's the range going to be for those players that are coming in, or do we not have that set up yet?
So what I'm trying to do, so I guess why it's going to take me at least a good solid 2 years, is build to where the captains on the team, and I put it out there, so I'm still trying to transition, and I'm glad that you asked that, because even right now on my arena team, I'm still trying to make sure that the next year, coming back here, my lineman is getting paid no less than $400. You know what I'm saying, to where they feel comfortable to be here, because you're going to get paid at every other arena league right now. If you go into the IFL, they're going to pay you $250 to $300, or depending on which team you're on. Go to the NAL, you're going to have to play both ways, but they can pay you $400 or plus. But where I'm only trying to have one guy on one side of the ball, I'd rather at least pay him that. But for the league, I'm trying to at least on paper, for contract purposes, pay a player no more than $300 to $400 on paper. But that's the purpose of them, of us trying to scout, like I said, from the area, scout from those colleges, scout for those guys coming out. So the type of merchandise that we'll be selling, of course, like you hear it all the time, but I'm already doing it for my own agency. So the type of merchandise that we'll be selling, that you get a percentage of that. So whether if we selling your player jersey for $50 or $60, each person that buys your jersey, you're getting $15 off that jersey, added to you. So, or, if you get incentives for something, we're trying to build that to where, every player can still be able to make something comfortable, but on paper, we're trying to at least pay guys anywhere from $200 to $400 on paper. And the rest that they want to make. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that's still good, because I know, like, when I was playing arena, I know you played arena. My biggest problem was taxes. My biggest problem was when I played out of state. I didn't know that, being that I was, 22, 23, I didn't realize that when you played in New Jersey, or not New Jersey, but, other places, that you got the taxes taken out of your paycheck. So that always threw me off as a player.
Right. I'm actually dealing with that now. But to be honest, I'm actually okay. I won't say it's like the worst thing, because it at least allows you to know that it's legitimate. You know what I'm saying? If you sign a 1099 and you sign those things to where you do get the option, it's legitimate. You played arena football in the AFL2. I don't know if the AFL2 was as detrimental to paying on time, to housing people where they're not getting kicked out, stuff like that, or anything, or you was one of the guys that did get to play close to home. But I'm actually friends with a few people that played the AFL too, that was with the Florida Fire down in in Fort Lauderdale and Fort Myers. So I kind of understood by the time I got in 2012, in the AIF, that first year, the team I played on folded like week 3. You know what I'm saying? I ain't understand none of that stuff. So me trying to learn, build from that and understand to not, fold as an athlete, because I never went through that. So my high school didn't fold, my college didn't fold. The team that I played first year in the outdoor league didn't fold. So I just tried out for a team and got signed. So when that team folded, I'm way in Georgia. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, I immediately tried to, get myself signed somewhere else. And it wasn't too much of a problem, but, I understood, like, dang, if this is what it's going to be about, I got to start planning better. I got to start recruiting better, or, putting myself in better situations so this don't happen.
Right.
I understand.
So, look, one of the pitch points that I heard was you can accomplish the same, if not better, for cheaper. You know, I hear you pitch that a lot to some of the investors that I think that you're
Right.
talking to. Some of these guys, you want to hear what you're saying. You're saying, listen, we could do it better for cheaper. So just explain a little bit about how you think you can accomplish that.
That just like to go back, the first point I made when we asked that question. Successfully to have a great successful season in those three main leagues I did name from the NEL, IFL, and CIF, you really want to have $200,000 or better. And to be honest, that's a lot of money. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I don't care if you're a successful person working, and got a good trust or got a good whatever. That's a lot of money. So at some point, you're going to want to know, I know where my money's going. I know I got to make it back some type of way. But, just think about it. My arena where we play at, or where I coach at in Rapid City, in Rapid City, South Dakota, it's $25,000 a game to play there. It seats over 7,000 people. You got all this stuff. You got to pay the people that's doing everything for the day for productivity and staff and everything, not including payroll, which is $15,000 between the coaches and the players. So you got to think about it. That's already $40,000 you're working with right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's $40,000. You get what I'm saying? So when you're in that position, and we already got 6 home games and we got 11 regular games. We got 11 games in them played this season. One of them was an exhibition game, so nobody got paid for it, but the coaches. But you know what I'm saying? That you got 10 payrolls you had to play, and plus playoffs if we win. That's why I say successfully for arena teams. It doesn't matter where you at. $200K or better, successfully take care of everything. And if I can help people understand that, yes, arena football is never going to go nowhere. I'm not trying to make it go nowhere, but a lot more people need more 11-on-11 opportunities than arena opportunities. And that's not to shade it. I played it. That's my NFL. I got my 3 NFL looks from 2015 to 17 from the Eagles, Steelers, and the Buccaneers on the hot list. But that was my NFL. So I'm never going to shun away from it. I'm never going to stop supporting it. But like we've been talking about, a lot more people need that more opportunities to get 11-on-11 looks and to try to pull those leagues that's overlooked or didn't know about them as much because of a name or so per se, or a school or so per se, or whatever division. That successfully can take care of you $60,000 to $85,000. Like, to be honest, so that's already 1 to 2/3 less than what you already done paid.
Yep.
Already, you know what I'm saying? Only thing, the biggest thing, like I said, you need to focus on is making sure you can pay your staff, because there's a bigger staff at this moment. Like I said, my league, the coaching staff should be anywhere from 4 to 6 coaches. That guys. Now, there's some semi-pro coaches out there that really are good, that are very good, know the game, been knowing the game, teach the game, structure the game, been around, got championships. So I would never shun against those. If those guys want to transition to it, please, by all means, but you will be interviewed. That's a fact.
There you go.
But for those, but those type of coaches that are trying to transition from college, or that's trying to transition from a player to coaching, that's the league. I'm trying to have too, because everybody got an opportunity now. Everybody is trying to, everybody's trying to find a way how can they fit into a puzzle piece, and I feel like that's another great aspect. So yeah, successfully, like I said, in arena football, $200,000 or better. The Orlando Predators right now, I know they're spending at least, especially with the payroll of people they just added. Man, come on, man, you're spending at least $300,000-$400,000, if not better. The arena, I know for a fact, costs more than ours. Their arena, I know it costs more than ours. So just imagine. You know what I'm saying? So if you can pay for a stadium, like I said, that's a great turf field. Great turf field. It ain't got nothing to do with the seating, but you got a great turf field. You can at least seat about 5,000 to 8,000 or 10,000, people in the stadium. I don't care if you can seat about 2,000. As long as it's a great turf field, you can house people. People got a bathroom to go to. People can at least go to concessions, or you can have your vendors that's out there supporting. And you can have great footage, film, because we're gonna actually try to film from 4 different angles, not just one, from the press box. Now we're trying to have both end zones, press box. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, I want to be able to, when we get their film and we're doing it, everybody's getting viewed. You know, I done been in this for a long time, so more of the money is going to go into the production side. More of the money is going to go into making sure the league is operating right. So that's why I say, you know, at least if we can pay guys $200 to $400, that should be good enough because you already got the quality guys you're going against. You already got the quality film, and you already got the quality people that's looking into it. So like that, I mean, you're getting 3 out of 1, and you're just coming out of college. I mean, we all been to college. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Mr. Mike as much, but I'm pretty sure we all have been to college, and we always goddamn glad to get that refund check. So like,
Yep. Save
hey,
me.
so
It
that's like,
saved me a couple times.
hey, so that's like my thing. You know, my thing. I really want to look out for those guys, man. To be honest.
Yeah. So look, that's a great transition. The 2 questions before we move on to the last part, and that's going to be a
Yes, sir.
great part for Big Mike to talk about. So the first question is, we touched on it a couple times, and it's funny. Our last 260 for 60s, we had a quick little conversation about this. You know, the fields, stadiums. You touched on it. Mike played at Central Connecticut State, which is a Division I school. He wasn't there for
Yes,
long,
sir.
but we've been having a lot of conversations about trying to have some semi-pro games there, right? Some minor league games there. I think for 4 games, you could probably do $5,000, and it's a beautiful field, beautiful turf field, beautiful scoreboard. There's a place for concessions, beautiful press box. I think that definitely would fit into your model. But like, what is your minimum? Like, what is the bare minimum? You gotta have these things in order for this field to be approved in my league.
For your league, I would
No,
say to
for
be
you, for your
just so.
league.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, to be honest, the bare minimum you really got to have at least, you know, somebody that can be camera because you got it's professional. So any professional team you've been through, they got cameras. So the bare minimum, you at least got to have a camera crew or at least somebody that can take pictures and also film practice and games. That's the bare minimum. Um, the bare minimum, which is be included once you pay the league fee, is the uniform company we have added to it. So I mean, that's the bare minimum. Like, as long as you can take care of those things, have your uniforms, everybody's looking professional at least. So, you know, I ain't gonna really care about, you know, if you're in camp and you got 5 different helmets on right now, you know, that should at least be painted, you know, and taken care of before the season starts. But if it's
Right.
camp and pre, you know, all that stuff, that's I won't say that'll be the biggest thing to worry to me, but you know, I'll definitely, you know what I'm saying, hey, take care of that before the season starts. Everybody got the same helmet. Because everybody might not be on the team, so I don't want everybody helmet painted right now. You know what I'm saying? The ones that make the final roster should be the ones getting paid. You know what I mean? Painted. You know, helmets will be painted, all that type of stuff. So the bare minimum, a camera crew, at least having a turf field. You know what I'm saying? I don't care the seating. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's only 1,000 people that can be seated, as long as there's a turf field where nobody got to worry about potholes, sprinkler systems, and you know all those type of little knickknacks. A place where you can have a concession or a place where vendors can pull up and you can have that going on for your team and set up and those type of stuff. That's the bare minimum. You know, to be honest, like we got to make it look as professional as possible. I don't care, you know, what size of the stadium we're playing in. Like we just got to make it look what it's supposed to be for them to want to come look at it.
Yeah, and that's absolutely necessary. So then that brings me to the question
I'm
is,
all training staff. I'm so sorry. You got to at least have a minimum of 2 training staff so that can be at practice in
of
that game.
course,
I,
of
yeah, you
course.
got to. I can't have you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have the insurance, but you got to at least be able to have some type of training staff that can help out with that for injury purposes and all that stuff.
Of course. Yeah, so that brings me to the last question is, you know, how do you plan to market this to the public so that you can fill some of these seats? Are you going to leave it to the teams to market themselves, or is the league going to try to take a responsibility and market in the league as a whole and try to really fill these seats?
I treat this like I do with my agency, man. I don't leave it to just my athletes to you know promote themselves. You know, I take it upon myself to do a lot of that myself. You know what I'm saying? Like whether they do it, you know what I'm saying, it's fine with me, they do it, but I take a lot of that, you know, time to do it myself. So that's how we're gonna operate it. The team is definitely required to do it, but the league is also required to do it. You know, we're just not gonna be a billboard and share everything what everybody else do. You know, that's our job, you know what I'm saying? So for whatever cities, whatever states we're in, you know, that's our job to get involved with the city halls, get his job, you know, and get involved with the city commissioners, get involved with the the government, to be honest, because that's at the end of the day, without the government and the community is nothing. So I mean, especially when we're doing outdoors. So being able to get into those schools still too, still being able to do little pep rallies or a little, not even just a pep rally, but doing something to promote what's going on, getting with the news, all those little small things that I've experienced as a player when I've played, and saying the same thing I know I got to follow with doing with that, so that way the league itself, not just a team, but the league itself can be a big brand. It just can't be the team by itself. You know what I'm saying? That's why I hit that way.
Yeah.
I don't care how many athletes I got. I don't just ask them to promote themselves. I take it upon myself to literally help promote them too. So us as a whole got to work together.
That's awesome. So we're gonna do the last little section. Probably spend like a most 10 minutes on this. We're gonna talk about the talent, right? And I really want to touch on the talent at every level, from the players to the coaches to the team owners, the organizations, the scouts. But Big Mike, he has plans himself of being a scout. He wants to go that route, and he's trying to get into it professionally. So I'm kind of gonna let him, take the lead on this section. But I'm just gonna start it off with like at the first point, right? You don't have a sport without the players. So I know you touched on it a couple times. You talked about having some college guys, some semi-pro guys, but from you, what's your vision? Like, what type of players are you looking for? What level of talent are you really trying to get out there? Are you looking for the gems that nobody can find? Are you looking for the guys who just need a second chance? Are you looking to have, the best talent possible, like another USFL, another XFL?
In my live, when I went live, I know you actually didn't see it, and I touched on that then. College is a main for, you know what I'm saying? The reason why I say college first, because like I said, a lot of them don't get the pro days. They don't get the extra look out of that outside of, saying what they may get exposed to, and that's it. Now it's the workforce. Now it's the regular life. So college for sure. But those age bracket of guys, let me just say that, those age bracket of guys that's from that 20 to about 30, I'm not going to exclude you, you know what I'm saying? But they got those guys that are committed, you know what I'm saying, that have understood the commitment to become an athlete, understand the requirements of working out, eating right, you know what I'm saying, trying to really transition of studying film, quality guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't care too much about the height and size and weight, if you're quality and you're a hidden, like you said, a hidden gem, or you're a guy, you know what I'm saying, and winning a Division I school, or you're a guy that did play or went to a mini camp, I'm welcoming you, because at the end of the day, it's all about marketing. It's all about, you know what I'm saying, putting everybody in that right aspect of, you know what I'm saying, where we need to be. So that age bracket of 20 to 30, those anywhere from the Division I guys to the post grad of preps, you know what I'm saying, I can't exclude them. Guys that did probably play professionally but still looking for opportunity for something like this to happen because they can't go overseas or whatever. This is the aiming point of players that I'm looking for. But you have to have some type of commitment about yourself. It can't be none of those guys that sitting on the couch and been sitting on the couch. No offense, it really can't just be players that have been playing semi-pro for the past 10 years or 8 years and never thought about trying to go pro football and not even on the top 5 or 6 on your team. Like, no. Yeah. So, like, nah, no. So, yeah, like I said, when you got coaches that's coming or scouts that's coming, we want to be able to have you, be able to pick you from that area. And, hey, we want to have an interview with you, or we want to be able to watch you. So they shouldn't be able to see nobody fighting. They shouldn't be able to see nobody arguing with a coach, or shouldn't be able to see nobody not putting in the max effort, regardless of was a walkthrough or not. You know what I'm saying? So that definitely those type of players that we're looking to aim at for us player-wise.
Yeah, me and Big Mike, man, we talk about it all the time. I know Mike's camera's off right now. He's probably going to work, but his mic is still on. Me and Mike talk about it all the time. Like, a lot of the guys that we play with, they just don't understand what it truly takes, that commitment level. They're not in the gym. They're not watching the film. They're not critiquing themselves. And that's the aspect that they missing to really go to the next level. But, hey, Mike, take it over, man.
Well, the critiquing part's the part that bothers me the most. I mean, when I was in my heyday of playing, even though like this is my last game in like a couple of days, like even now, like I review the film that we have and go over it and make sure that, like, all right, I didn't misread what I thought and all that stuff. But just my own take, like my own story. I had really good coaches after high school, and especially in the semi-pro level, that pushed me to try to go arena, try to go to a higher level. So you need coaches like that, Just pardon me for 1 second. I just got to punch in at work.
Yeah, go ahead.
So more.
Oh, no
Hey,
problem.
Matt,
if
so
take
since
one
Mike
more
made that
second.
comment about, since Mike made that
Say it
comment
again.
about coaches, I was interested. What kind of level of expertise are you looking for from coaches? Are you looking to grab some of these, Division One AA coaches that might be in transition, looking for a job, or are you looking to, grab some of these like historic high school coaches, or are you looking to just the same thing that you're doing with the players, try to find some of these coaches that might know what the heck they doing and nobody knows about them?
That for the most part, the last part, that very last part, you said, a lot of those coaches that really nobody know about, but what I'm saying, they have a winning atmosphere. They have a actual player coach's heart, that know how to relate, not just because we here to win football games, but I may be going through some of my marriage. What I'm saying, I may be struggling with trying to get a job, or, I may be struggling with, how to raise my. You guys hear me?
Hey, I can hear you now. I think we lost you for a second.
Yeah, we did.
My apologies. The type of just to hit that little small part, then I don't know what happened. Type of coach that can at least, be a player coach. Type of coach that can at least, help somebody, because it's all about not just about winning, but like I said, somebody may need marriage. Somebody may just need more advice about how to raise their child. I may be looking for a job, and you might got a person that you help me. So those type of coaches that can really help, because not just the color, but it's a lot of children from the ages of 20 to 30 that still don't know how to, go about life.
Yes.
Because they didn't get it from their youth, So that's a must, a coach that can really help a player develop in life outside of football and really just enjoy the game and enjoy transitioning to life too, is what I'm looking for. So yeah, if you're D1 AA, I don't care if you was a historic coach that, that everybody loved, but never really got that opportunity, nobody knew about him, or you a high school legend, or you're a great semi-pro coach that wins in his league every year, or one of the best strength and conditioning coaches that, yes, those, anybody. But you must be able to relate to a player at life and like in all times almost.
Incredible. Yeah,
So,
Mike.
so basically, like for the league that you're gonna milk, like you're gonna have an opportunity for all levels. So you're gonna have opportunities for coaching, scouts, assistant coaches, and players.
Yes, sir.
So I mean that's something.
Because you spoke about financials with that, I didn't want to leave that out. For the head coaches, I'm at least trying to aim for the head coaches. I don't care if you're a head coach and OC and all that other stuff. At least 500, and all assistant coaches that's on the team 250. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to really too much deviate. If you get a win bonus, or your player, in your position is killing the league and top of your league, we'll try to give you a certain bonus, for what you've done for your position. To be honest, but at least I said for 250 to 500 from assistant coaches to head coaches.
No, that's good. Now, how about like scouting? I know
Scouting,
I know that's kind of hard to put a number now, just because of the fact that scouts don't make a lot even in the NFL.
I won't say that'll be hard. What I would say would be scouting would probably become from the tryouts. If I keep it honest, the amount of players that you get to your team that you scouted to come to the team and everything, so depending on the trials, you get a certain percentage from that, and the other percentage actually goes to your team. You know what I'm saying? And then by the time you'll be a part of the coaching role, as well. So you're on that assistant coach's role as a scout, but you should be able to make a good amount of money just because of what you scouted to come to your tryouts.
Yeah, sounds like a commission based kind of.
No, that's smart. That's
Right.
actually really smart.
All right, so the last question, because we're at the top of the hour, and this is probably the most important question of the day. And I think everybody got a chance to really understand how special this is and where this is headed. But the last question of the day is the investors, man, and I know you're gonna need them. So, who do you want as investors? Who you looking for? You know, how much are you looking for from each investor? You know, are you pitching equity deals? Are you pitching cash production? You know, are you taking naming rights? Like, talk to us. What are you looking for from investors?
That's where I'm really wanting to really get more involved with everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is the most that I know to come to, you know what I'm saying, how to run a team, how to really, you know what I'm saying, have things operable, how to make sure that you're not investing your money into the crazy part, how to make sure you know, got the right quality, how to make sure you know, promote and do all this stuff. That's the most that I know I can promote for that. So right now, when it comes to investments, I'm just the black and white. You know what I'm saying? If I keep it honest, I don't want to talk into a lane that I don't too much know in. Not too much of a bad thing, but I want to be able to really pitch and be able to black and white, be able to sit down, be able to answer the questions they need to be able to, so they can be able to understand exactly where we're going. Because, like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of people investing money and losing money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of people investing time and losing time. Not too much of a fan of it at all. So however I can get those things to coincide together to where they're investing their money and time and they're not losing at all is what I need to aim at, to where if that way I know this is going to be ran right, everything's going to operate right. Everybody that's in, you know what I'm saying, owning your team, you that's the owner can have your, you know what I'm saying, things you need to take care of so your team can operate right. And that way the league itself is being able to brand, like, this is a brand that I want to build, not just because I'm a part of it, but because of everybody that's a part of it, and everybody had the same type of vision, goal, and concerns.
Right. Well, listen,
And
man.
maybe somebody that works at 7-Eleven. I don't know if you have a 7-Eleven in your area or anything like that. It may be somebody work at a Walmart, manager of Walmart. You know, you just love football. You love football. You love watching. And just to hear this idea, you'd be like, well, heck, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind investing 20,000 or 20 this. I don't mind this. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? Or just to sit down with somebody that's a truck driver, you know what I'm saying? They own their own trucking company or a construction company, or somebody that runs this or this or this or this, but they love football. They love the aspect, and they probably got their own grandson or their own son or something, or they want to sponsor somebody, and that it doesn't matter what. Like, that's what I'm saying. To me personally, how if I can get these things to work to where they don't lose time or money, but they can be able to afford to invest that time and money. Oh, I'm ready to talk to you. Like, I need to be in your back in your house. I'll cook for you at your house. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I love it.
I need to be
Well, listen,
sitting
man.
down with you.
I saw Miss Wells. I saw Miss Wells popped in for a second, but we out of time, unfortunately. So tell her I said hi. Maybe we'll be able to get you back on in a couple weeks, see how things are developing. We'll talk again about it. I know
I
me and Mike,
appreciate
we both going
it.
definitely. We're gonna do our part to put it out there, and you know, anybody that I think should be talking to you, I'm definitely gonna send them your way, because this is big for everybody. If you don't realize it, this is big for everybody. And if Matthew Wells gets this off the ground and he gets it running, he might be the next big name in football. So, power to you, and thank you for coming out.
I will do showcase games next year, just to get it going. But hopefully by next year, I will have a league name. You know what I'm saying? At least, it's going to take me a good time. Like I said, it will work for everybody. I should have a league name. I done did showcase. I should say, excuse my grammar, I've done showcase games with my own agency. You know what I'm saying? In the past 3 years of me running it. So I will do 2 games probably next year, just to get it off the ground. But by 2025, I really want to be able to kick it off and get it going and just, keep it rocking, to be honest.
Dope. Well, listen, I appreciate you, man, for coming out tonight and explaining everything to us. I know everybody that's going to see this is going to appreciate the conversation. You might get a bunch of people in your DM. Don't blame me. But listen, thank you so much again for coming out tonight. Mike, as always, for being a part of the show.
Good.
We definitely gonna tap in with you again, man.
Man, God bless y'all and appreciate y'all for having me as well, man.
Definitely.
Thank you. Nice.
All right, man. As always, we take care. We see y'all later. Meet you at the 50.